What is going on, everyone? I'm Des with DesFit, and today we're going to talk about the ForeRunner 645 Music's biggest standout feature, which is obviously the music. So I'm going to share my thoughts on the music experience with purchased and downloaded tracks, as well as iHeartRadio, how different Bluetooth headphones will perform with the device, as well as what type of battery life you can expect while listening to your tunes. Now, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel for the final in-depth review that's coming out soon, and also don't be shy about hitting that like button if this video helped out at all. I put a lot of work into my videos and try to provide a pretty good amount of detail, and those thumbs up really help out the channel a lot, and I definitely appreciate it. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into it. So as of right now, at the beginning of April 2018, you'll have two options for music. You'll be able to load your own music onto the device using a music provider like iTunes, either through purchase tracks or if you still have some old CDs laying around. And you'll also be able to sync playlists through iHeartRadio, which was just launched around mid to late March. Unfortunately, Deezer support still is not available at the present moment, but hopefully it will be by the time that I have my final verdict review. So the process for transferring your music is slightly different for purchase tracks versus iHeartRadio. Using iTunes, the process is fairly straightforward, and all you'll do is attach your ForeRunner 645 music to your computer with the charge and sync cable, and then your iTunes library should show up in the left-hand sidebar of Garmin Express with different ways to sync your music by playlists, artists, albums, and so forth. And then on the watch itself, it'll mirror that same list. Transferring the tracks was super fast, and I had no issues with both ripped music from CDs as well as purchased tracks through iTunes. In addition, I was able to load and listen to longer tracks like 2-hour-long podcasts. However, the tracks that I did try to sync from Apple Music into iTunes did not work, unfortunately, most likely due to the DRM restrictions, and that was kind of what I was expecting. And then with iHeartRadio, the process is slightly different. First off, you will have to have an iHeartRadio All Access membership to transfer your playlists and tracks to your watch. The first thing you'll want to do is set up your account and then create a playlist with your desired tracks. The name iHeartRadio may lead you to believe that it's just radio stations, but they do in fact have a great deal of standalone tracks that you can sync with your device. So although it's no Spotify, it has a surprisingly good selection of music. After starting the app, you'll be prompted to activate your device by entering a code into iHeartRadio's website, and then a list of your available playlists should appear that you'll then choose to sync with the device. Transferring the iHeartRadio playlist will be done over Wi-Fi, however, and it will prompt you to plug your device into the charger to do so. And no, the charger does not have to be attached to your computer. I transferred 66 tracks totaling about 4 hours of playtime in about 40 minutes or so, and it wasn't exactly the quickest process, so just keep that in mind that you probably won't be able to quickly sync a playlist if you're just about to head out on a run. However, that 4 hours of music from iHeartRadio only took up 112 megabytes of storage of the 3.6 gigabytes of total available storage that was on my device, so you'll be able to load up a lot of music. So overall, the music management experience is actually pretty good, but now let's talk about listening to all that music from your favorite pair of Bluetooth headphones. Well, first off, is your pair of Bluetooth headphones in this list? So apparently, not all Bluetooth headphones will work with the 645 music. Garmin has an FAQ on their website for Bluetooth headphone compatibility that is, well, quite short and quite specific, such as they have both Jaybird Freedom 2s as well as X3s, but not the original Freedoms nor the newer Jaybird Runs. I have the original Freedoms, which did in fact give me some issues, so I can confirm that those could be problematic, but my X3s were perfectly rock solid. But interestingly, they also have the Soundpeats QY7s on the list, but I had zero issues with the Q30s. And lastly, I did also test listening to music while also paired to an ANT Plus or Bluetooth Smart external heart rate sensor, and I did not experience any issues with the headphones that were officially compatible. So some headphones will have some connectivity issues, and it can definitely help to wear the watch on the same side as where the Bluetooth antenna is going to be on your headphones. But honestly, if you have issues with your headphones cutting in and out at all, you'll probably still have some periodic cutouts from time to time regardless of the orientation. However, if your headphones or speakers do play nice with the 645, you can actually get a decent range out of them, which is pretty much only useful if you're using them with a Bluetooth speaker. So here's a list of all the headphones as well as Bluetooth speakers that I paired with the 645, as well as which ones did work and which ones had some issues. So if you already have a favorite pair of Bluetooth headphones that's not on that list, you may want to reconsider whether the 645 music is going to be right for you. But now let's talk about the battery life while listening to all your tunes. If you're listening to music in smartwatch mode without starting an activity, expect to burn about 6 to 7% of the battery per hour. Now, when I tried listening to music during a non-GPS activity, it was just slightly higher at 7 to 8% per hour. Then I paired an external heart rate monitor in non-GPS activity mode while listening to music, and it used about 11% of the battery. However, if you're listening to music in GPS activity mode, it will run through that battery pretty quickly. In my testing, it used about 20% per hour. So Garmin's figure of 5 hours of battery life in GPS plus music mode is pretty much spot on. Now, that isn't wonderful by any means, but in my opinion, I think that most people would probably be only using music playback for running or inside the gym. Now, although I did test it for a longer duration while cycling, honestly, while cycling, I'll most likely have my smartphone on me, and I'd much prefer the flexibility of the numerous music provider options on my smartphone rather than the limited options that are going to be available on the watch itself, but everyone is a little bit different. So that's the music experience on the ForeRunner 645 Music. It's not exactly a perfect implementation by any means, and just keep in mind that you will have to charge the watch quite a bit more often if you do choose to use it in GPS mode. And the fact that not all Bluetooth headphones are going to be officially compatible, but I did have some good luck with ones that were not even on that list. Anyhow, make sure to subscribe to the channel for a final verdict review of the ForeRunner 645 Music, where I'll be going into quite a bit of detail of all of those fitness features. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.